When I was 16, I started dating this guy, let's call him Joe, and he and his friends liked to do the whole ghost hunting thing in abandoned properties. This was back before shows like Ghost Hunters made it into mainstream culture. There was one they were very fond of, on a road not too far away from the plantation in my first story. When we talked about the house, we'd just call it by the name of the road it was on, but in the interest of trying to keep some anonymity, I'ma keep it to myself lol. So I'd only been dating Joe a few weeks, and one weekend he and I, along with 2 other friends, decided to mosey on over to this house and check it out. Now the story that everyone believed about this house, was that this guy snapped one day, killed his brother in the barn, and then took an axe and went through the house and killed his wife and children. Inside the house, on the 2nd floor, some walls did appear to have been chopped at with an axe. It's unclear why he did this. Some say his wife and brother were having an affair, kids weren't really his, etc. And just to get this out of the way, I did try to find out the history of the place, but I never found anything to prove any of it happened. But its history, well, I'm not sure if it had anything to do with things that happened there. So anyway, we hang out and dig around checking the place out. Nothing happens. Boring. I know, haha. But that night, long after I left, I dreamed that I was in the barn of the property. Our friend, who I'll call Anthony cause he looked like Anthony Kiedis from RHCP, was with me. And there was this guy standing in front of me, telling me I could ask him any questions I wanted, and take pictures, but Anthony kept getting in my way and asking stupid shit. All I got from that dream was that this guy said he was a ghost, he liked to haunt the barn, and he was wearing a plaid flannel shirt with overalls, wearing a type of baseball hat, and he only had one arm. The next day when I see Joe, I tell him about it. I describe what the ghost was wearing. And then Joe looks at me pretty hardly, and asks me if the ghost was missing an arm. What? Yes, he was Joe. How the fuck do you know? Joe says his sister would see a man exactly as I described and missing an arm at night hanging out in the hallway of their house when she was a kid, talking to a couple of other men. Apparently Jolene would get up to use the bathroom at night, see these guys standing at the end of the hallway and they'd be gone by the time she's come out of the bathroom. I hadn't met Jolene yet at that point, and years later when she and I got to talking one day, I asked her about it, and she confirmed she did see an armless man all the time as a kid. But wait, it gets a little bit more weird. Joe and I had another friend, Tina. Tina had a little boy, and they lived with her parents in another town, but also somewhat close to the plantation and axe murder house. Her little boy would say there was a man in the basement of their house that kept talking to him. One day, he draws this man. Guess what he fucking drew? I have no idea if this thing was a ghost, or what. But the fact that 3 different people saw him in some way, years apart, but he always looked the same, just genuinely creeps me out. The other story with that house. Oh man, one night, total spur of the moment decision, we decide to head up to the house, because for one, we had enough people to cover all the areas of house and barn, and 2, one of us had a van so we could take 1 vehicle. We'd never had that many go at once, because when you do things like this it's best to not have 4 cars all parked in an abandoned house's driveway, haha. So there were 8 of us this time. 2 in the barn, 2 in the basement, 2 for 1st floor, 2 for 2nd floor, and 2 for the attic. At this point, I'd been to this house numerous times, I've been through the whole thing and knew it as well as my own house. And I was not on drugs, had nothing to drink that night. That's important. So Joe and we end up as the 2 who get to hang out on the 2nd floor. Except there's something there I'd never seen before. This is going to sound so fucking stupid, but I swear on all my loved ones, it's true. There was a bathroom there that I had never seen before. I shit you not, I'd never seen this bathroom before. And it connected between 2 bedrooms, and it was big with a giant claw-footed tub. It would be really fucking hard to miss, you know? It freaked me the fuck out. And everyone agreed that we'd hang on our assigned floor for at least 20 minutes. And Joe made us spend that time in that fucking bathroom. I was seriously wondering if it would fade out of existence with me in it. It didn't, thank God, ha ha ha. But I went back one last time to that house. I went with other friends that time, and no Joe. We went though that house, and again, I shit you not, that bathroom was gone. I went through every doorway, and every hole in the wall, and double-checked all closets. And that room was just gone, like it had never been there. I still don't know how to explain that. I really wish I had been drunk or on drugs that night.